You're listening to the world-famous White Roof Radio, Woofcast number 678, recorded December 14th, 2021, brought to you by DonBurnside.com, MotoringStripes.com, and DetroitTune.com. That's all we got. Go.
Okay.
Done.
Thank you. Sorry for my voice in advance. I had capital T, the cold. Not COVID, just a cold. But it's running rampant in Arizona. It's horrible.
Yeah, we had them floating around here too. Deanne got it. I did not.
Yeah, we did COVID tests. It's like, no, it's not COVID. It's cold.
I know. Ever since I got my booster shot, I feel invincible.
I had a cold called the booster shot. And it really,
booster shot was easy for me. I did booster shot and I did my flu shot in the trouble. Piece cake.
Same thing, man. I was out. But hey, COVID loves.
Well, there's going to be. That's what I say. There's going to be three groups of people eventually: the people who are vaccinated, people who are recovered from COVID, and the people who are dead. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very philosophical about the whole thing. It's basically
Gabe's definitely drinking.
I don't care. Just tell me when to put a mask on and tell me what shot to get.
Right.
Yes,
I'm the same way.
Yes, I'm the same way. Yeah, except I've been wearing a mask like every day everywhere I went for like the last 3 weeks because I was sick and I didn't want to pass my sickness on to others.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, that's exactly right. Like I was lucky enough to get COVID right away, so like now I just worry about other people who might die if they get it. So I'm like,
sure,
just tell me what to do. Okay.
Thank you. That's very nice. You guys are sweet. Okay, I love you, man.
Did you redo it already?
Did I redo what?
The intro.
Dude, yeah, like for you.
It was amazing. You didn't hear it?
I was napping.
Second, two take Burnside.
Two take Burnside. That's what they call me down Star. Where were you, man? You were there.
I was napping. I told you I'm old. I'm napping.
Comment at the end and everything, man.
Did you do a second take?
Did you do the thing?
Everybody, it's DB in Arizona. New episode of White Roof Radio. Last one for the year. Thank God. Good grief. A bunch of old guys here can't figure out what the hell's going on.
Oh my God! This
Holy
is the
crap!
last
Todd's here. Todd, say hi.
I think I'm here. I don't know.
Gabe's here.
Somebody remind me.
Hi, I think.
Hello.
And of course, the good reverends here, Chad Miller from Detroit Tune. DetroitTune.com has joined us. Chad, say hello.
Hello, but is this really the last show of the year?
It's the last show of the year. And rumor is we're actually talking about Mini Cooper stuff tonight. We've got stories from Motoring File all over the place. We got spy photos. We have race car stuff. We have electric car stuff. It's going to be amazing. Todd got his JCW Countryman. It's going to be amazing. We've all had something to drink. It's going to be amazing.
We need to find an NM exhaust system.
I know somebody.
It's going to be amazing.
I need an NM engineering exhaust system for my Countryman. Somebody, if you've got a lead on one, let me know because I don't want to wait till February because my Countryman is too effing quiet.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about making my car not look like so. And
it does break in a little bit, Todd.
Okay. Break in. All right.
Yeah. Wait till it's still not going to be loud enough. And then this is my problem with my Mini, and I posted this in our Slack channel earlier this week. And I'm not used to this one, and so maybe you guys out there can help me with this, including the White Roof Radio audience, is for my first time ever in Mini owning history, I have a Mini that looks like yours and yours and yours.
Oh, pepper white?
That one over there. And that one, it might as well be pepper white. The Moonwalk Gray and black. Oh my God. Every Mini is that color in Arizona. Every single Mini. And it's horrible. So,
or at least every other one.
Oh, dude. It's like, oh, look, there's my car. Wait, that's not mine. I'm in mine. That can't be mine. Exact same wheels.
But DB, I know a guy who can help you with that.
I know. We're going to do something cool and make it better. And then
fluorescent green wrap.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. And then Craven Speed Springs.
I have two words for you. Plasta dip.
No.
Boom, you're done. $7.
No.
You're done.
No.
Scrape off the windows when you're done.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna. Oh, I could get like bright pink plastic for the 8-pound. So that'd be different.
Change every week.
Okay, we're not going to talk about plastic dip. Jesus, you guys suck. Okay, let's talk about Mini Cooper stuff anyway.
That is Mini Cooper stuff.
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about plastic dip on my car. Good grief.
It looks great for about 8 minutes.
Yep. And then you take it through a car wash and you're like, oh, wow.
Oh, what happened?
There's a giant chunk missing. It's like my car's got mange now.
Is that a stone chip or did the paint peel off?
It's plastic dip mange.
Well, then you have a big party, a big peeling party, and that's always fun. It's like, when you put Elmer glue all over your fingers when you're a kid and peel it off. It's like that, right? So that's fun.
I know nothing of what you speak of.
What?
I don't have that many friends. Just kidding.
Oh, crap. I hurt now.
This is going to be either a really long show or a terribly...
No, it's not. It's going to be a short show.
We're sorry in advance.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
There's Black Roof.
We've all been working very, very hard lately. So,
we have been working a lot of hours, all of us.
So we kind of deserve to break free a little bit.
Everybody's been hitting all their check marks before the end of the year. Anyway, let's talk about Gabe's already working here. Gabe's still working. He's drinking and working.
No,
I hear the keyboard.
I hear the keyboard. No, you're not working, Gabe. Is that a lie?
Surfing porn.
Hey.
Okay, what's his name?
Guys, I'm writing motoring file content right now.
Oh, okay. Creating porn, mini porn.
No, yes. I mean, you'll see it. Well, what day is this? I mean, it's going up in about 30 minutes.
Okay. It's Friday.
Tuesday.
Nope, it's Friday. Todd says this is Friday.
Yeah, it's going up Friday. So
this is you guys are going to.
You will have seen this a couple of days ago.
Yeah. And then this will, like I said, this is the last show of the year. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We got family. We got all the things, right? And I know it's too late, but I'm hoping that you guys did your due diligence and you went to Motoring Badges, Detroit Tune, Craven Speed, and Out Motoring, right? I know you guys did all that. But in case, and you need Mini Cooper stuff for after the holidays, I would really appreciate it if you guys go to motoringbadges.com. And you're going to need a replacement Mini Cooper logo for your car because it's an R56. And that's all worn out. Todd's going to sell you a new decal. He's also going to say the wire free sunroof delete kit and anything else you need. You're going to go over to Detroit Tune. Chad's going to sell you everything else that you didn't get from Todd. And then you're going to go to Out Motoring because you need something that's specific that Chad didn't carry, which is weird because Chad carries everything. But you're going to find outmotoring.com. And then you're going to go get a short shift kit at Craven Speed or a Gemini phone mount at Craven Speed or the lowering springs or the reduced reduction pulley at Out Motoring at Craven Speed. Right? You guys are going to hit all four? Right? Perfect. Great. That's fantastic. Let's just go right to news music.
Oh, something
we still have news music?
I don't know. Wait, it's in your head. Just think really hard.
Yeah, okay. So we're going over to motoringfile.com. And I've been noticing a lot more that you guys are sharing motoringfile.com content on the Facebooks and the Twitters and everywhere. Thank you for that. Don't share Mini Cooper content that's not from motoringfile.com. That's just dumb. And for those of you who are still leaving comments at motoringfile.com, please stop doing that.
No,
we see Facebook, you do that on Facebook. Yeah. We don't want you doing that on Facebook. Just click back over, click through, and leave a comment at motoringfile.com. It's like an extra touch.
And for the record, listen, if for some reason you end up accidentally leaving a comment on Facebook because you don't even know where you are, fine. We're not going to hate you for it. But the reason we ask that is because, number one, we don't want Facebook to own your content.
Right.
That's just wrong. Number two, we want you to support, it obviously coming from me because I own Motoring File, but we want you to support independent mini publications or any publication for that matter. Mm-hmm. It's just a good thing to do. Mm-hmm. And, the other thing is Mini reads the content on Motoring File pretty closely. And so
including the comments. They read
your comments, I should say, is going to go a lot farther on Motoring File. Mini will actually read that. Versus Facebook, where it just sort of blends into some just white noise
and just disappears.
So just keep that in mind. Nobody's doing bad things here, but it would be nice if you
show your support by clicking over to motoringfile.com while you're afraid.com, leaving comments directly in the content. Thank you very much.
Yes,
absolutely. So we have spy photos, we have race cars, we have electric minis, and we have
new cars.
Let's start with. Pretty pictures. So there's a really nice photo gallery of the Mini Cooper SE in New York City. Go click through and look at the Mini Cooper SE because I drove that car. In fact, I think I drove the red one, and it is just delightful to look at. And it is fun to drive, and I can only imagine how fun it is driving around New York City. And there's a nice story that goes with it. It's
Mini's been doing these little pieces where they basically tour Europe, and they just write a little thing, and it's nice, and there's photos. It's nice, appreciate it. This is the first time they've done something outside of Europe.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's cool. It's a good looking car. It's the chili red.
Yeah, it's
with a red top. It's the SE. It looks nice.
We'll get to the big story in a second. We should talk about this new documentary that's been in the works for a long time.
Did you watch it yet? Todd and I were talking about this pre-show. I haven't, because it's just went up, and I haven't had a chance to watch it. Is it good? I know it's 10 minutes.
It's really good. It's really good. It's only 10 minutes long. It's only
10 minutes. Piece. I mean, the Hoonigan videos are longer than that.
Minnie's been working on creating more content like this. This is, I think, for one, I think we might see others kind of like this, but I think what it does is it starts with the past and sort of defines, the history of the brand. And then it brings it forward and connects it to LAP Motorsports and their race team, which has been on fire, over the years. They've done an incredible job in IMSA.
They really have.
Incredible job in Continental Series. And, it's just run by such a great team. Lewis, who owns the team, is just, don't say this lightly, truly one of the best people I've ever met in my life. Like,
he is such a nice guy.
Incredibly nice.
He was in Arizona just at random getting his countryman worked on or something, and I found out he was in town, and he was nice enough. He gave me like 10 minutes. This is like a million years ago. But he gave me 10 minutes to talk to him at the dealership. So nice.
So genuinely interested in the brand, and it's a great story about the classic giant killer mentality. I mean, and I think anybody who's driven these cars on a track in anger, as they say. And I remember the first time I tracked a Mini against other cars, and it was just a R56. I'm sorry, it was a R53.
R53, yeah.
Which wasn't particularly, like, they've gotten faster, obviously. And I'll never forget the grip I had in that car. And just, moments where it was not as fast as the E46 M3s that were running around there. But I'll never forget those moments where I was like, wait a second, this thing.
Great. How come I'm right on the tail of that car? How am I right on the tail of that BMW?
Cars, eating them alive in the corners, and it is really incredible. So if you've ever had that experience, seeing this video is going to kind of feel it's going to ring true. If you haven't had that experience, just know this video is true. Like what they talk about, where these cars are on slick tires in the rain faster than other cars on rain tires in the rain. Like that's not made up. Awkward silence.
I was waiting for like the payoff. I think that was it.
No, I was letting DB come in. DB was going to just dive in there.
I think DB passed out.
Oh, I think he did too, but that's fine. So I'm going to keep rolling. That is a great story. I'm
really sorry. I was on mute. I had to cough. This is a great story. Minusay worked with Motor Trend on this, put it together. It's 10 minutes.
Yeah,
they actually worked with a production company, and they pitched it to Motor Trend, who is the distributor.
Got it.
Nice.
I know you guys are spending more time watching Hoonicorn videos than you are watching these things. It's 10 minutes. Take the 10 minutes. Watch it.
It's super worth it. So big story, of course, as we all know, is that the 2024, and I mean, I think it's 2024 in the United States. This is what I've been told. The mini hatch, the all-electric mini hatch, was leaked a couple of days ago.
Oopsie.
This is the pictures that the internet has loved to hate all week.
I saw nothing but hatred for this, which I find amazing.
I don't understand it.
I don't hate it either. I don't hate it at all.
If you do anything, people are going to hate it. Like anything. People love to hate it because it's like, well, in my head, a Mini's a small old car.
But see, all of these people, I think they're the same people who've been around for 15 years who they're never going to be happy unless Mini brings back the R50 in exact form as it was. And they're like, that's it. That's the only thing that's going to make me happy. And I'm going to be pissed and I'm going to hate everything.
I think it's great.
And like, okay.
I think it's great.
Yeah. I think the new one's great,
I can't stress enough. Like, what I see in this car, and I write about it a little bit. I actually have a YouTube video on it. That's why I was like, I know I did something. So I did a quick YouTube video talking about some of what's going on in this car. But I mean, the biggest thing is not a surprise. It's what Oliver Himmler has talked about forever. Is minimalism. Like he is essentially looking at the classic Mini, the 1959 Mini. And he's using that as inspiration, and he's reducing taking away is a better term, I guess, all of the junk, if you will, all of the faux vents, all of the creases, all of the things that have been tacked onto cars over the years. And he's stripping it away and creating something that is designed by function as well as form. So what does that mean? So it means everything on the car, every crease, every shape, it has a purpose. There's nothing there that shouldn't be there.
Well, it's everything Alec Isagonis did in 59. Yeah,
it's an ethos of design that Alec Isagonis subscribe to. It's an ethos of design that modern day Porsches subscribe to and other automakers subscribe to, and many, and specifically BMW, have shied away from that and have really kind of gone out of their way to create form that is not directly tied to function. And this is against that. And it's the first time we've seen Mini go this radical. I mean, really, ever. I mean, this is since Frank Steffensen did the R50, they've been on this course, and this goes in a different direction for the first time. And I am happy to say I love it. I mean, I love where they're going with this thing.
I'm very excited about it. I like the pictures, the reveal of this electric car. And what people don't notice is because you don't really see it in proportion to or in relation to, say, the existing F56 model that's out there. But I've worked on them enough. I've taken these cars apart. I've wrapped them hundreds of times now. And I see it and go, holy crap, this is a leap forward. And so much is different when a lot of people look at it and go, I hate it, I don't like it, or whatever. And it's like, no, it's smaller, it's sleeker.
It does it.
You've gotten rid of
smaller.
a lot of it.
It looks,
this
looks like the Rocketman concept, kind of as much as the Rocketman concept they can actually put into production.
And I think it pretty much is. It pretty much is.
It's
that's what it looks
smaller.
like to me.
I think people have been saying, oh, I can't quite tell it's smaller. I mean, it's pretty simple. Look at the sunroof.
Look at the overhead shot. You just look at the overhead shot and you go, oh.
Look at the roof.
Exactly.
Look how tiny that roof is. Right.
That tells you everything you need to know. And I'll say this. I'm writing this article about the last ICE, the last internal combustion Mini tonight, maybe as we speak. And, it's cool. And there's something to be said about having the last petrol-powered Mini with the manual transmission. And, maybe I'll buy that. I don't know. But you look at these photos and you can't help but think you're buying a dinosaur. You can't help but think this is going to be an incredible future for this car, for this brand.
Right.
Yeah, right. And I'm kind of we're in that kind of crossover territory, in that, and we've talked about this for the last few years of moving to electrification of the brand and of cars in general. And I think we're almost there, but just not quite. And that's the hard part, is because the people I know who've gone electric love it, and they're never going back. And that's great. But I think for a lot of us are going, it doesn't meet my needs for a number of reasons. Mm-hmm. And we're just waiting for technology to get just another couple of baby steps farther. And I think over the next 5 to 7 years, we're going to see it take leaps. It's no longer going to be baby steps, that we're going to see giant leaps of technological advancement in electric cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you guys will be able to see us. We're going to start talking a lot more about this. I've got a really nice write-up by Neil Simpson. He's over in the UK. He sent us an email. He has switched to electric cars, and he's hardcore all the way in. He got a Mini SE, doing the Nissan Leaf for the missus, and they're just no, this is all we need. We still have gas cars, but those are for the weekend. Right, these are our daily drivers. They're perfect. We don't need anything else. Yeah. This is what we need.
That's really true. I think that, and of course, for those who say well, I have a house somewhere I go to on the weekends, or my commute is this and that. There's corner cases for sure, but for the vast majority of people, and even Americans, I think a lot of people will look at this and say well, in America we have we drive so far. Yeah, some people do, and that's fine. And you can. I don't think we're ever going to outlaw petrol-powered cars here. It's not going to be in my lifetime, but there's so many people out there that are gonna experience this and really kind of rethink what they've done. And I'll say this, and I've said it before in the show. Listen, I'm a gearhead. I love fire coming out of exhaust. I try to only own manual transmission cars. That's who I am. And yet, even I get into a car, and you can read my Tesla reviews from a decade ago. Even I get an electric car, and I can't help walking away thinking this is how we should have been doing this for 100 years. This is just better. I have an electric snowblower, and it's like a revelation. It is so much better getting away from internal combustion engines in almost every scenario. Now, is it better in NHRA drag racing or in certain scenarios? No, that you want You want to hear things. You want fire. You want like all that. But in most people's lives, they don't want that and they don't need that.
In the 25 miles a day you drive back and forth to work or to the shops or to wherever, I don't need a gas powered car.
Yeah,
especially now.
Yeah,
I mean, and especially now, right?
Like immediate torque and the serenity of the electric propulsion is a game changer.
Well, I don't know where I saw it this week, but somebody, I think it wasn't Jalopnik, it was somebody else. Wrote an article about talking about electric cars and how the auto reviewing world, like
I read that too.
had basically is going to go through this metamorphosis because basically every electric car is quick. I mean, they're peppy, they're fast.
That was a YouTube video.
I'm not sure
what
I saw
it was, that YouTube video.
But it was the whole point was that we're gonna have to rethink about how we talk about cars and the drivability of them. And kind of the fun factor. And I think Mini's going to have a corner on that,
that dude like said what a lot of people have said. He said it and it was picked up. I think it's right. Like I think I just raised my hand on Teams. I think that it's something that if you listen to a lot of folks who've been talking about this for a while, we've been saying it for a while. I mean, I said it years ago. Other people said it before me. Like it's a common refrain for anybody who's driven these cars, which is, what matters when speed is irrelevant,
right.
Or what matters when torque is irrelevant? What matters when there's no gear change? And so, you start to think about the type of conversations you have around this car or that car. How do you grade them? And, a lot of automotive reviews are, how do I say this? I mean, they don't have the most inventive sort of metrics, if you will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, the shifts are crisp. I mean,
it's still guys that still have patches on their shoulders and they want to drive a station wagon and can't drive a stick shift to save their lives.
Yeah. And I get it, but I think it's I think this is going to introduce a new problem in that space. And that's fine. I mean, I don't think it's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, that's the thing that we were just talking about was a video that I found somewhere. I posted on our Slack channel. I'll share that with you guys. There'll be a link in the show notes.
Yes.
And it was a 12,000 mile Mini SE mile owner review, and the guy loves it. Only 100 mile range. He didn't care. Which didn't bother him even a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. The whole thing it makes me feel guilty because I picked up my new JCW Countryman today. My gasoline, my powered by dead dinosaurs JCW Countryman. That's been lowered within an inch of anybody's life. So I feel, all this talk about electric cars is like, oh wait, what? No, I just got a new one. Damn it.
I'm going to share a picture. This week's show picture.
Well, you should though.
Of Todd's new Countryman next to a JCW hardtop that is, and his Countryman's actually just a little bit lower.
But for what you were saying though, I agree. Like in the Detroit area specifically, it's like you have a 40-minute commute and you're going like 45 miles.
Yeah.
And so, it's a different scenario. And in the city where I'm at, like these cars make so much sense, but in a lot of like suburban America, you're getting uncomfortable because you're going to do maybe 70 miles a day, 80 miles. And if you didn't charge overnight, you got to sweat it a little bit.
Right. And I think that's the infrastructure issue that's, holding people back at this point. It doesn't exist a filling station, if you will, in theory, to where you can go and say, hey, in the time it takes me to walk inside and get my big gulp, my car's charged at least to 80%. And I can be about my business. We're almost there. Right. It's going to get there, but the infrastructure has to be to where you can stop, and there has to be a company, like we have tons of companies now from BP to Shell, Amoco, all these, gas stations, if you will, who are built around this concept. But we do not have the electric version of this yet. Now, you go to the grocery store. Sure, there's 4 plug-in, places, and you go to your charge point and you register, and sometimes it's free, sometimes you have to pay. So it's still too complicated and not as convenient. And once we fix that, once we
Right.
solve that problem, in addition to the range issue, I think we will get there.
Well,
eventually.
and where we need 40, not 4 chargers at the
Right.
grocery store. You know
Right.
what I mean, like we need, and to your point, we need gas stations
Oh.
designed around this, and
Yeah.
you know, they are getting there. Like that is, there's a lot of money to be made, so therefore it's going to happen.
Right, and I think like oil companies are going to have to start invest, and they are. They're starting to invest in infrastructure for electricity because they see the writing on the wall, and oil consumption is down. And two things added to that recently. You know, the pandemic, people weren't going anywhere; they're working from home, and everybody's figured out, you know, I don't need to drive that much anymore. So it's starting to make, we've made this kind of paradigm shift in electric makes more sense because we're not driving as much as we were, and we kind of changed our habits. So
Test.
we'll see. There
Hello
you
now.
go. DB's back.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, DB was on.
So
brief
yeah, but
hiatus.
this, where this isn't a problem is in Europe. Like Todd, you and I, we follow the same people on Instagram, and I'm seeing this post from our man Seth over in England.
Yeah.
And they've got the plug it in and wait 15 or 20 minutes, and you've got 80% charge pumps.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
but you talk
In
about
England.
I hear only complaints from my friends in England about that. But I agree. It's probably less.
I've been following him, and he just did a giant road trip, and I've been following him, and it's been fantastic. He's had nothing but good things to say about the whole process.
Well, I will say this: if you're a Tesla owner,
He's not
Same
a Tesla owner either. So
in the United States, though, you can.
Oh.
I mean, I borrowed a Tesla. Like you could go pretty much anywhere. Chad, are you doing dishes again? I think Chad's doing dishes again.
Oh,
I muted him.
There we go.
He's in the kitchen. He's doing short
It's
order.
fine. It's fine.
So, but I think that, you know, so there's infrastructure that needs to be done and a dash of marketing that needs to be applied.
Yeah.
But I think
Yes.
so. Here's the thing.
Marketing.
I think that wherever we go with this, let's talk about this car for a second. I think this car looks really interesting. The exterior of the car is clean. It's simple. It feels like a Mini. The overhang, guys, let's stop for a second and
I know.
celebrate. This whole podcast should be called, you know, overhang
They fixed
reduction.
the overhang.
I know. I'm looking at my new Countryman, and I'm like, holy crap! The front of that car is really long.
Well, and proportional, Todd, it's less than the F56.
I know.
Proportionally.
I know.
But the new one, so they've fixed the overhang. It's much less. The rear overhang is like minimal. It's really small.
Right.
Like
It really is.
It's. I mean,
Reminiscent
like,
of the
I can't stress
R50.
enough.
Reminiscent.
This
of
is the
original.
R50.
Yep.
You guys are all talking about, I want an R50. I want a new R50. They just made it. I think
right
this
here.
is going to be it.
Yep.
This is totally
So-
going to be it.
Like, celebrate that. I mean, I know it's electric, and I know you're going to have a stick shift right out of your dead hand. That's fine. Maybe I will too. But like, celebrate this. This is pretty cool.
Like it or not, this is the future that we are hurtling towards at a great pace.
So the rear end
Like
of this
it or
car,
not, this is gonna happen, Dad.
it may look a little bit like a bat symbol. I think some people are going to find that
No,
It-
it's
now that's
Spider-Man
all I'm gonna
eyes.
see.
It's Spider-Man's face.
Spider-Man eyes.
Yeah.
It looks like
Now
it
that's
looks
all
like
I'm
an
gonna see.
elongated Wu-Tang Clan logo, but I think regardless, I think the only problem I have with this entire thing is the terrible typography on the back that says Cooper S.
Yeah.
That is a major issue.
The S is like, wow, that is really, really bad and off filter.
It is bad, and I can't wait for Motoring Stripes to come out with a big, fat, gloss black panel to solve that problem. But
right.
until then, I think other than that, I think they've nailed it in a lot of ways, and I'm not just a fanboy saying that.
Right.
Like,
No, I agree with you.
We call bullshit on Mini and what they've done in the past.
Yep.
They've done a great job here. Is it perfect? No, but it's really, really good. And then the interior, guys, we haven't talked about this, but we don't know what's going on here. But like, whoa!
Besides nothing, which looks kind of
mean,
cool.
I love it. It's
The big round dinner plate looking thing, which I presume will be some kind of a computer screen. That's a little crazy, and the fact that they made it giant.
and there's no cluster display. There's just a HUD.
Just a HUD.
That's
Yeah.
what I've always thought. The Model 3
center-
and Tesla Model 3 should have been like that from the beginning, but Tesla's too cheap. There should just be a HUD.
Yeah, you're right.
HUD
Yeah.
has a
That's just
display
better.
for all you plane at home.
Yeah, I think
it's also interesting too because the lights. If you look at the first photo, and I mentioned this in the article a couple of weeks ago, are smaller. So they made the lights look like the F-56, so they're gigantic.
Yeah,
and the new one, they're actually smaller.
Right.
If you notice that, but it's dramatically smaller.
And the front of the car,
at least.
The front of that car is covered in sensors. So is the back, which is going to be really interesting to see what those are going to do.
Well, there's two things. And so that brings me to, a couple of things. There's several sensors. There's LiDAR in there. You can see it. There's a camera in the front, and then there's a top sensor. The new Mini, so to pivot really quickly, this is the electric. We've talked about this in Motor and File, so stick with me here for a second. Mini is going to create two next generation cars. One is electric, all new, completely new skateboard chassis, built in China. Like, get the pitchforks out or get over yourself. Whatever.
We talked about this a couple episodes ago. Nobody heard about it because when we talked to everybody in Palm Springs, yeah,
my iPhone's the best consumer device I have. It's built in China. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
It's built in China, and the next generation ICE or petrol powered Mini will be a version or heavily modified, if you will, version of the F-56 chassis. And that will be built in Oxford. So what's interesting about that, and that's the story I'm writing right now, and there's a version of it already on Motor File. We've talked about it for a while. In fact, we had the scoop on it, matter of fact. That ICE version, internal combustion engine, is in F-56. Mini originally, is this black roof or is this white roof?
I don't know. What do you want?
For all you white roof listeners, if you want to know what black roof is about, I'm going to give you a taste. This is what I would only say in black roof normally. So Mini originally was just going to use the 2021 refresh as the quote unquote new Mini. They're just going to say, here's the new Mini. This is the new petrol powered Mini. It's going to last until 2030. There it is. And other folks inside of Mini were like, guys, are you crazy? Like, nobody's going to buy that. Like, this is just refreshed, which is fine, but it looks great, but it's just refreshed. We need to do like a heavy refresh to see this thing through to the end. And so they went back to the drawing board. They're like, okay, you're right. We need to really rethink this car and try to heavily iterate on the F-56 chassis. And so that is what we're going to see in a couple years' time. The photos just released. There's nothing you can see. They're all camouflaged. As DB mentioned earlier, Rafael did not buy them because I did not see any value in them. I'm sure I lost SEO credibility there, but I didn't want to buy them. And so, because I already wrote the article and I already told everybody what they are before I even saw it. And so that is going to be the petrol-powered version. So you're going to have two cars, totally different chassis, totally different everything, claiming to be like the next generation of Mini. And that's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's understandably weird, but it's going to be weird. But the next generation, this F-56 that we can call it next generation, is also going to have some of the cameras and sensors as well. It's built in. That's one of the things that you can clearly see in these cars.
Yeah. Well, and it's amazing too of what people don't understand is the stuff that's available on Minis now, and have been for a few years. The self-parking aspect, the adaptive cruise control aspects of the car, which work with cameras and radar in the front, all of those things. A lot of that exists now. Not everybody has it on their car. Not everybody has paid for the features, but we're getting there. We're getting there step by step, and a lot of cars are coming with this. The whole lane departure thing. I mean, my new Countryman has a lane departure.
A little buzz in your hands.
Yep. So
yeah.
All of those things we're going to see, and they're going to take them to the next level.
Does have the blind spot?
No, there's no blind spot. Mini still, and Mini and BMW both don't. I don't think they.
Well, BMW has that.
They have it in the higher end BMWs, but like
they've had that since 2013.
I've got a customer this week that wants me to put this aftermarket blind spot system into his car.
No, I would just say
Todd, they've had that forever. What BMW does is they have it.
What I meant, Gabe, was they don't have it in the X1 and the X2, the same platforms that Minis. So
they just added it. So they have it in the new. They have it in the new X1 coming out. And it's kind of an oddity. Like they don't have the sensor, but they do now. But the next generation Mini, the way I've been told, is like expect a level of autonomy like L2. So
right,
it will likely like steer for you on highways. Nice.
Or do the same thing that the BMW does when you start to exit a lane. It kind of steers you back into the lane.
No, not that. It'll actually like you'll put your turn signal down.
Yeah.
Like you press it so it just like goes 3 times. So general press. Mm-hmm. It'll pass a car for you.
Oh wow.
It'll actually, if you take your hands off the wheel for a split second, it'll actually steer around a corner for you.
Wow. So
that's all coming to the Mini, and that's what they call L2 autonomy. L3 is where it gets really, really interesting. BMWs have had L2 for like 4 years now. Mm-hmm. L3 is actually legally not possible in the United States, but there's obviously some people trying to talk our government into allowing that.
Right.
But L3 will probably happen in 18 months to 24 months.
Yeah.
But the next generation Minis will have L2, which I should probably write about. I haven't mentioned that.
Sometime before, who knows when. Whew, crazy. So into the news from motoringfile.com. Click over motoringfile.com. You're going to find links to all these stories that we talked about tonight in the show notes. Plus, there's like a whole bunch more. Gabe's whole thing on the 2025 Mini Hatch is there. There's a really cool post about dogs and minis from the official news channel that was actually kind of fun. You guys probably saw that over on Instagram or Twitter. Just some neat stuff. Go over there. Check it all out. It's really cool.
That's because Mini's encouraging people to adopt dogs this holiday season and pay for the fees.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Not bad.
That's amazing, by the way.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
really, really cool.
I agree.
Yeah.
As a dog owner, I can say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really nice thing to get behind.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
As a dog owner. And we're all dog owners here.
Yep.
Including Gabe. Gabe's Instagram is filled with pictures of nothing but shoes and his dog.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing in cars.
And cars.
Nothing wrong with that.
Cars. Yeah, and then a combination of all of those things put together. So like his shoes in a car with the dog.
My dog has my dog has its as her own.
Yeah, your
Instagram.
dog's got its own Instagram. Well, Chad's dog had a Facebook page.
Mine does too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Gabe's
Yeah,
dog does have
why do I not know this?
Yes.
Mine has more people looking at it than I do.
It's my dog, and my dog has the tech nerd cred. Because our dog is named after a sci-fi character from Firefly. So that's how you'll find her Instagram page. She's named after a Firefly character. So there you go.
Speaking of nerd things, there's a new Countryman in your house.
Yes.
New JCW.
Yeah, there is.
So you've driven for 6 miles. Now, this car is Todd's
Have you
first
tuned it yet?
Automatic transmission in a very long time. Correct?
I know. I'm going to have to learn how to drive an automatic. I told the dealer that before I left. I'm like, I'm not sure I know how to do this. And which is funny because Gabe, and I want to tell you there's 3 versions of how you can drive this car. And they told me right before they left, they go, now put it into Sport Plus mode. And I'm like, what? You mean just turn Sport? No, Sport Plus. So do you know what that is, Gabe?
Mm-hmm. You take you hit the whatever that button is, the other button.
The Sport, the Sport button, and you pull the shifter over to the left.
Oh, well, that's so. All that does is change the shift algorithm.
No, but it does, but it basically turns it into either like a 6-speed or 7-speed transmission, and changes like don't use the paddles. But if you hit sport mode and then you lock it over to the left, it says it actually comes up in the display that you're in a different sport mode.
It locks. It locks the. It escapes me now.
It basically pushes the shift points as far as they can go.
Yeah, it locks the differential, and if you turn on then the traction DSC button, if you hit that, I classify that as 4+. Like you basically pop it over, hit that, and now you're locked.
It's a very track ready, and basically what happens.
Now I'll say this, like it is, but I mean, having put a fair amount of miles on these cars, and I had the Clubman before this, so same drivetrain. And maybe yours is different than mine, Todd, because you have a newer version. But my 2021, you have a 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my 21. You know, the car has a tendency to get confused in sport mode from a shifting pattern perspective.
And that's what I've heard. But, however, it's not that it's getting confused. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. Like, it's not downshifting because, and the reason it's not in this mode, in the Sport Plus mode, is it's thinking you're going to speed into a corner. You're like, you're letting off the accelerator and ready, and it keeps the revs up there all the way high because it thinks you're getting ready to punch it again out of a corner.
So that's not, I agree with you. It does that. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It does awkward downshifts.
Gotcha.
So there's awkward downshifts that, you know, it's just like, you can feel it. It like feels like caught out. Like it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, my car does. My car does that sometimes.
Yeah, it does. And so the thing that like a DCT doesn't have that because this is a torque converting transmission and it doesn't have the fluidity of the really, really good ones yet. So I mean, listen, this transmission is the best Mini's made. It's really, really good.
But it takes some getting used to.
Couple of a DCT. I will say it's faster. The shift points are faster in this car than the Mini DCT, hands down.
Yeah,
like no question. When you push it hard, it goes fast. Now, when you don't, though, there's lag and there's moments where it's frustration compared to DCT. Overall, though, like it's a crossover. Like for what it is, I think it's a great transmission.
Well, and I've put for what we didn't mention, I put a BC Racing coilover suspension on this that dropped the Countryman 2.8 inches. So it is almost as low as a hard top. And for the very little I drove it from the dealer to home, which was only about 6.5 miles, it handles very much like my JCW on the JCW Pro suspension, which is amazing. That was one thing.
Nice.
Two thing, my one opportunity to actually give it the beans, if you will. I was at a stoplight and there's nobody around. I went from 0 at the stoplight to I was at the other side of the intersection. From there to there, it was 53 miles an hour through the intersection. That's all it took to get there. And I'm like, wow, that is fast. That is the fastest Mini I have ever driven, which is pretty amazing. It's very amazing, and I can't wait to get some more seat time in it. Fast. I haven't even had a chance to play with it and set up my phone and I've been so busy. I signed the papers and drove it home, and that's it. And then came and started doing a podcast. So
if you guys are looking for how fast that car is, go back listen again to Woofcast 676. I recorded some seat time in the 2022 JCW, and I went, oh, that's me starting, and that's 60 miles an hour. And it was, I don't know, it felt like it was less than 5 seconds. It's wicked fast.
Yeah.
So cool. Very cool. Can't wait to hear more, Todd.
Yep.
After you've driven it more than 6 miles.
Yep. And I should drop in the Slack because everybody knows that we also had another car on order. So we ordered another JCW, if you will, and that one was en route. But here's a clue I just dropped over into Slack here. If I hit go, of actually the next car that's going to end up in our garage. And Gabe, you might be able to tell what that is.
1968.
Oh yeah, look at you. So you made the old switcheroo, huh?
What's that?
Is that you didn't order that car?
I did.
You ended up with it.
I did.
That's the car you ordered.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't. I secretly ordered a second Mini, a third Mini. I ordered 3.
But that's the third. Well, what happened to the second?
The second one we're going to give up, and stick with Mini number 3.
So this is it. Yeah, that's cool. That's a great. I like that car a lot. That's great.
And what we're talking about,
I shouldn't say anything. I'll let you. We'll talk about next show, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about the next show because I've ordered a different JCW and it's a little bit special. It's not a GP,
fun.
Not a GP. So,
but that'll be great. That's a really nice car.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was just looking at the photos of that car today. Actually,
where are there good photos of that car?
Please call motorfile.com.
Yeah, okay. I'll look for them.
And don't look for the international photos because the international version of this car is black, and the U.S. version is going to be green. So
I'm gonna have to find wherever the store.
Yeah, there's.
I'll say this too. Only 75 are coming to the U.S. So I'm giving away a lot of clues here.
Here you go.
Is it gonna be that green, Todd? The one in the picture over on Motorfile? I found it.
Yep. Which is
that's gonna be.
So it's not the JCW green. It's the
BRG4.
Yeah,
BRG4. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
That's cool, man. That color, I love the dark green. I don't know. I go back and forth. I think I like it more, but man, that BRG4 is pretty cool.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, so I can't wait to. I can't wait to.
We'll
see
talk
it.
more about that, and then like you mentioned, you're going to be back in the White Roof Club.
Yeah. This car's got a white roof, and that's why I said I'm finally back into the
white roof is the way to go.
Yeah, me and Chad are the only ones with white roof now. I think
it's weird.
Chad's still got a white roof
weird.
in Detroit.
A white roof, I want him.
Oh, okay.
Black roof.
No, Chad, you don't have a white roof Mini, do you?
No. What about the shop car?
9 more.
The shop car?
Yeah.
Isn't the shop car?
The shop car is black roof.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Pepper
No more
white,
white
black
roofs.
roof.
What's going on?
Yep.
No sunroof.
Wow. Okay.
That's my only quibble about this other JCW.
I'm just a black roof kind of guy.
My Countryman does not have a sunroof, by the way.
Good. It shouldn't.
So
immediate regret.
No regrets. None.
No regrets, man. No regrets.
No regrets.
The roof is so big.
I shit you not. Last week I did a job for somebody, and I'm not even going to tell you what kind of car it was. This was a used car lot, and this is one of these.
I know the story already.
This is one of these cash used car lots that I've got a relationship with. Whenever they get a car in, and they want to like dress it up a little bit. So I go in and I do some stuff. So this guy calls me and he goes, "You got to come in here." And he says, "I got a car for you to look at." So I go and I look at it, and like I said, I'm not going to tell you the brand of car, but it's a higher end brand. He says the sunroof leaks really badly, and he goes, "It's going to be like $6,000 to fix this sunroof." So can you just wrap the whole roof in black and not cut out the sunroof? He goes, "We just need to get through for like 6 months." And I'm like, "Sure."
That's hilarious.
So I wrapped over the sunroof, didn't cut it out.
Well, listen, I'm not suggesting you buy a used car with a sunroof. I'm suggesting you buy a new car with a sunroof.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is and Chad will probably agree with me, eventually they all will leak or do something horrible, or get plugged, or
shatter as you're driving down the freeway.
Yes, I've had that happen. Your head. I had that happen, and it's an epidemic in BMWs also. Mm-hmm. So
Anyway, we'll talk more about this car next year, which is when we'll be doing our next episode of the world famous white roof.
Next year, radio. or also known as when we sober up.
Yeah,
there it is. There it is.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Thanks, everybody, for coming back. We do appreciate it. I appreciate you bringing back White Roof Radio and, listening to us. It's been very cool. It's fun to get back and actually do the show, and we get a lot of positive feedback. I appreciate you guys also asking for episodes of Black Roof Radio. There's an episode of Black Roof Radio for this episode as well. If you guys want it, ping me. I'm working on a way to make that easier for next year, but for right now, just hit me on Twitter.
We might have other big things in the works for next year too, by the way. So keep tuning into White Roof Radio.
Yeah, well, big things for sure. I'm working on some things. We're going to start getting more interviews. We're going to start doing more cool stuff. It's going to be awesome. Very awesome. Very, very cool stuff. So it's going to be exciting. But I don't have anything else. You guys already know Motor Stripes. You already know Detroit Tuned. You know everybody else. Motoringfile.com. Don't forget, do that. Please stop following on Facebook. Please stop commenting on Facebook. Follow on Facebook. Link
Just drop Facebook altogether, please.
Yes, please.
Please.
It's ruining the world.
Kind of. Yes, it's true.
But that's our I Hate Facebook podcast, and New one of that was like coming out to like March 2025 or something. So that's been on hiatus for quite a while.
Shuttlecast.
There we go.
There
it is. There it is.
Yeah, I think I still own shuttlecast.com. Do I?
Dun.
I don't know. What did I just buy? Nope, Shuttlecast I don't.
Oh, yeah. We can't say what you just bought, but it's funny.
It is funny.
All right.
That was really funny. And I was really disappointing that GoMotoring.com is finally gone. Sad. Let's roll back we'll use this as our Wayback Machine time point for just a moment, if you will. GoMotoring.com. That was Mark Vogler's old site. And he had all of the Mini Cooper blogs and websites and news sites all syndicated into one really easy to scan
RSS
headline.
feed.
Yeah, because he just grabbed everybody's RSS feed. So you just go to GoMotoring.com and you saw like the titles of all these different posts. You click through and it went right to the site. It was brilliant, right? It was really well done. And it went the way of the dodo along with everything else because nobody does that anymore because Twitter and Facebook ruined it for everybody. And they sold it to somebody. And then they said, oh, new site coming in December. And this stayed that way for like 10 years.
Never happened.
It never happened. And then finally, now it's for sale. And if you want to buy GoMotoring.com yourself,
It's only
you can
going
buy
to
it
cost
now
you
for
$99,999.
$99,999.
That's an automated thing, I'm sure.
It's got to be an automated thing.
I'll give you 85 cents for it.
I was gonna give him, two thin dimes, but hey, whatever. It's like, wow, okay, someone's pretty proud of that. Anyway, that's enough from the Wayback Machine. We'll go and bring it back forward. But we are done. We are done for tonight. We are done for this year. We will be back in 2022, as I already mentioned. Again, thank you for listening. We really, really appreciate it. And of course, thank you to Todd, motoringstripes.com. Thanks to Chad, DetroitTune.com, and of course, super thanks to Gabe, motoringfile.com as well for helping me make this Dog and Pony show every other week for you guys, like we like to do. Does anybody have anything else?
I love you, man.
I have nothing.
I love you, man.
Happy New Year.
Yes, you guys too.
Yeah, happy the days, and Happy New Year.
Happy
we'll see
New
you guys
Year's.
in 2022. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and be done. This is the part of the show
Merry
where you know what I like to do, right?
Yeah.
After Chad's done saying Merry Holidays, I like to make that funny clicking sound, and then I say, questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead, click back over to whiteroofradio.com. There you can leave a note in the show notes, please, or you can email us, feedback@whiteroofradio.com. Until next time, gang, Happy New Year. See you next time. Bye.
Cheers.
That one felt funny in my mouth.
That's where it's still